Right, I'm bored of sitting in front of the computer, so it's time to get back out into the woods, I reckon. We got this show, so I'm going to go and collect some tinder, see what's out there. So we've got some stuff to demonstrate with. So let's get warm clothing on. I've got my Land Rover Sweets with me. Why do they call them Land Rover Sweets? Because they're exceptionally tough, but everybody nicks them, I suppose. But never mind, anyway. I'm going out. I think there's somebody just down here who thinks they're going out as well. I'm going to take a look at that. Sitting right next to the door. Go on then, girl. Off we go. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. It's like the woods are coming back alive again now. So we're off down, just picked up something here. You recognise this one? This is wild rose. Now obviously we can get the rose hips from it later on in the year. But what most people don't realise is that you can actually make cordage out of this material as well. So you make, you know, posh word for string. A little bit more complicated than, say, for example, doing it with the nettles. The principle is still the same as doing it with brambles as well. The beauty of this one is that these thorns on here, they can just be pushed to the side just using your thumb. So whereas the brambles you've got to use gloves, nettles you can do it, you know, as long as you grasp the nettle firmly, as the saying goes. But with this ones you can just flick the thorns off, and then you can gather quite an abundance of material. Because they grow to you know, such a massive size here. So you got wild rose. Yeah. What do we got there? We got a great tip. You'll notice what we've done here is we've increased our chances of finding exactly what it is. We've come to a ride in the woodland. If I go into the pine plantations, then the chances of me finding the tinders that I'm looking for are very, very slim. But and particularly because Derbyshire is so damp as well, and I'm looking for stuff that I can use quite quickly. So coming out into the ride, it allows us to get to the areas where the sun has come in just a little bit to dry things out, but also there's more growth, and where there's more growth there's therefore more species that are dying off, and therefore I should be able to find more interesting tinder for us to use. Great, we're on a forage for tinder, and you know, I'm not here to teach you guys how to suck heads. Silver birch tree, Betula pendula. I've heard some people describe this as the supermarket tree of the woods because it has so many different uses for us. I prefer to think of it more like a DIY shop, you know. You got to know what to do with the individual components inside it. But for the firelighting point of view, which is what we're specifically looking for today, fantastic tree. You see where the bark is all flaking off. This is a northern tree, which means it's not entirely comfortable this far south. We're in Derbyshire at the moment, and so it's not entirely comfortable. So it's naturally shedding its bark, trying to keep itself cool. We can use that to our advantage. Now we can take off these really fine bits. Now it's important only to take the fine bits. You know, you see people coming in and taking a great big square out using their bushcraft knife, etc. And all you're going to do is kill the tree, and that's not what we're here for. That's not what bushcraft is all about. So if you take out that big square, look at it next time you wander around the woods, I can almost guarantee you're going to find somebody that's done it. If you do that, you're just going to go straight through the cambium layer. You're going to expose it to bacterial infection. Tree's going to die. That's not what we're about. So just take the really fine papery bits. You'll find that they go up actually better just using a spark anyway. Even with quite a low grade spark, to be fair. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the high grade sparks that you'll get off, say, for, you know, the Swedish fire steel 3000 degrees. But just take the fine bits off it. Loads of different uses. You know, that bark is crammed full of oil. That oil carries through out into the finer twigs at the end. So take the dead ones off, and you've got your kindling there as well. You can also harvest water from this tree at certain points in the year as well. But we're looking particularly for tinders today. Even these bits where they're absolutely sopping. Normally when we peel the bark off, we pop it in our pocket just for 20 minutes, just to dry off the little bit of moisture that's left. But even these bits that are sopping, if I pop that in my pocket for an hour, my body heat's going to dry that out, no problem. Hey, I'm not going to take this one, for reasons that I'll tell you in a minute. But just spied it, so. Again, on the birch tree, especially the pendula. Look at the polypores on that, said the actress to the bishop. Birch polypores, some people call them razor strop fungi. Now again, we're looking specifically at foraging for firelighting at the moment, so this would actually be quite useful to me. What we can do with this, I don't know if you might have tried it before or not, but working with charred materials. It's something I only started experimenting with about 12 months ago or so. After a little bit of advice, I thought, oh, we'll experiment with some different materials. And what we got here is we can char this. So do it exactly the same as how we make char cloth. Basically take the fungus off and burn it without the presence of oxygen. And then that way it carbonises the material, and then that will take a low-grade spark as well as the high-grade spark. When I say low-grade spark, it'll take spark off of flint and steel, as will quite a lot of carbonised material. So you don't need the fire steel, so for example. So that's birch polypore. But I'm not going to take it because I've already got quite a lot of that, and I've already got some charred as well, so I don't need that for this weekend. So we're going to leave that for another day.